What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video we are going to be talking about everything we know so far about NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. So lads, obviously there was a little bit of a leak for NBA 2K21. I have to assume that it's true, but until we actually see something officially by 2K, I'm not going to report on it. There are posts on Reddit and stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it like it's fact. Is it likely fact the way it was written? Yes, but I'm going to wait. And there is other places where you can find that. So I will be talking a little bit about that, assuming it will come out tomorrow, because 2K tends to when something gets leaked accidentally, put it right out. And if we don't see it tomorrow, it's likely fake. So either way, if you guys have not kept up with these videos, this is going to be a little bit of a summary on some stuff that we had seen previously, as well as kind of some of the things we've heard from 2K about the game mode and things like that. So anyway, the first thing is, this is a kind one. It's not necessarily confirmed, but it's as good as confirmed, and it was confirmed in a picture, and it's that position locks are back this year. Position locks are a huge money maker for them, so I don't understand why 2K wouldn't do it. So obviously it's not a surprise seeing it again. If you guys can see from this picture right here, there is a point guard slash two guard, Dame Lillard, a power forward slash center, Zion. I wish that was power forward slash small forward. I don't want to run 6'6" center. And a double position Lillard, as well as double position Kobe. So lads, basically, if there was no position locks, we would see one position. There would be no reason for secondary positions if there was no position locks in this game. So for that reason, I'm pretty sure this picture here, one of the initial things we saw in NBA 2K21, basically as good as confirms that we are going to be getting position locks next year. Not necessarily a bad thing. I think for the game, in fairness, up until point guard LeBron James, position locks actually, I think, fit their purpose. They actually did a kind of good job, because 250k, yeah, they took the behind the back out of the game, which meant everyone had to run Ben Simmons. But had they not taken the explosive behind the back out of the game, everyone was using small point guards in 250k. So they obviously did something right up to a point, and then it seems like once 250k happened last year, they just kind of went off the rails with like the unbelievable cards. And then again, once Spotlight Sims came out, the game, you might as well have just thrown out the game mode if you wanted any realism. But yeah, so position locks are coming back. Another thing that is very, very important is that the game transfers over, and I think that is in a way to bring more hype into MyTEAM. I really do. I do think that MyTEAM is going to have a lot of hype. Trust me. I think that people are going to be very much playing MyTEAM, because when they buy next gen, they don't completely restart. However, I don't know. I really don't know in terms of like content creation if a lot of people are going to move towards MyTEAM for that reason, or if a lot of people are going to stay with Park and MyPlayer and stuff, and just for the reason that there's almost 2 rep races. That'll be kind of interesting. But yeah, I think one of the biggest things for the MyTEAM game mode is the fact that it carries over, which means that a lot of player base that will be buying the PS5 or Xbox Series X early are likely going to be playing MyTEAM, because if their progress carries over, what they do for the first 3 months isn't completely wasted. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of larger content creators playing MyTEAM, especially early on in the year. But yeah, so that is one kind of big thing for the game mode. One thing as well from that initial picture, from what we've seen, 85 equals Sapphire. So I have a feeling the 2K are going to do the exact same thing with their tiers, and they'd be kind of dumb to change it up, because the only way they could change it up is by going 2K17, 18 route, that type of years, where basically a bunch of, well, basically making less tiers, and the less tiers there are, the less money 2K can make. Like 2K can raise a card from a 92 to a 94, and suddenly that card is worth 3 times as much. So in terms of money making, it would be a dumb thing for 2K to change it up. I actually personally think, in terms of just pure making money from the game mode, this game mode is almost as good as it gets, with position locks, with the tiers. with constant new content every week, it is almost as good as it gets in terms of ability to monetize. And I don't see 2K changing anything in that. But we know 85 is Sapphire, so we can be fairly sure that the tiers remain the same. Free agent cards are back. The most irrelevant thing in the history of MyTEAM are back. Free agent cards. I wish there was a way 2K could make free agent cards better. Like, there has to be a better concept than the FIFA loan player concept. Like, there has to be. Like, I get it, it's a card for just pre-ordering the game, but I don't understand why they don't just give out like a normal card rather than a freaking 96 overall Lillard card. And the worst thing is that I'm pretty sure if you get the Kobe edition on next gen, you only get like an 85 overall card, which is going to be terrible anyway because the game carries over. So an 85 overall card in like November is going to be horrendous. Either way though, free agent cards are back, and are they going to be as irrelevant than ever? You better believe it. You better believe it. So now we're on to kind of new and interesting things. So I've already made an entire video talking about some of these things. Heck, I made a video talking about almost all of this. I'm just going to be putting it all together for this video. But Evos are back with more control. And when I initially made this video, I was just kind of like just guessing, but I've had conversations with a lot of people, and I do truly think that my initial kind of hunch with the Evo thing is correct. So, and actually, sorry, there was a blog post basically from, not a blog post, a interview with one of the new MyTEAM developers, I think the guy who's come in for Robbie, and he basically alluded to something very similar. So, for example, if you had, let's just say Evo Kobe Bryant, like we know Evo Kobe Bryant Evo's up. Say, for example, you need to hit 50 3-pointers, and he goes from a 75 to a 90 3-pointer. But you also need 30 steals for him to go to from like a bronze clamps to gold clamps, something like that. So imagine if, like in 2K19, you needed to complete both the achievements in order to improve both the stats. But it seems with the more control with Evo cards, you just need to improve specific things. So if there's a card, for example, that you need to shoot 100 threes, and he goes from a 97 to a 98 three ball. But the rest of his thing, he's bad on defense, and the rest of his like requirements are like 50 steals, 20 blocks or something, and he goes way up in defense. But you don't necessarily want to shoot 100 threes with him. It means that you can just go and do the defense ones and improve the defense, and then improve the 3.1 when you can or if you want to. So the Evos with more control is huge in my opinion. I think that is one of the most important things for NBA 2K21. And I think that it's improving on a concept which was great in theory, especially great early on in the year. I think by the end of the year, Evos weren't the most relevant thing in the world, and I don't think they're going to be the most relevant thing in the world in Endgame 2K21 either, because 2K have set a precedent ever since NBA 2K18 of just releasing 99 every player who's ever dribbled a basketball getting a 99 overall card. They've set that precedent over the last 3 years, and I don't see them stopping with 2K21. However, I do personally believe that the Evos with more control, especially early on in the year, will make this game a lot more playable. And will make this game, well, more replayable. Especially during kind of the dead season of October, November, which, let's be real, if you've ever played 2K, you know that is the real dead season. Dead season is not July, August. Dead season is October, November. If they can keep players playing through that period, I think they will be doing a good job next year. Then there is MyTEAM Unlimited. So MyTEAM Unlimited is the single worst idea in the history of 2K. It is the single worst idea. The absolute lack of a safety net that is involved in it is killer. I personally believe that it is one of the worst things 2K have ever brought in, because going 12-0 is something that winning 12 games in a row is extremely difficult in any video game. And I'm sorry, as much as you guys in the comment section like to say, oh, everyone goes 12-0 every month. They don't. An average player gets to 3 games on average every time before they lose 3. They do. They go 3-3. And the thing is, with the rewards, there was a lot of major problems with it. But the 12-0 aspect, the inability, I'm telling you, if it was 10-2 to get the reward, if you could go 10-2 and get the reward, you better believe people wouldn't, like, I don't think I would, like, absolutely cheese the game unbelievably hard as I do if I could go 10-2. I wouldn't. Like, I genuinely wouldn't, because I can go 10-2 without dribbling the ball through my legs once. I can go 10-2 running a point guard at point guard. Can I go 12-0? Sometimes, but not likely. Because the difference between 10-2 and 12-0 is so big. Even though it doesn't seem on paper, the difference between being unable to lose. Or suddenly you go, especially if you're on America East servers, you try to go 12-0, and there's a good chance you do come up against a Ty, an Isaac, a TJ, a Looker, Gaming God. All these guys that are literally like, if there was a professional MyTEAM league, they'd all be pros. Like, these guys are pro in everything but name. And these guys are who you're coming up against an awful lot of the time. You're bound to face one unbelievable player in a 12-0 run, especially if you are on USE servers. So it is just a horrible, horrible concept. But it's back. However, apparently there are new ways we're going to be playing. Like, I'm hoping that MyTEAM Unlimited is just a name, and it has nothing to do with 12-0. Like, we know Unlimited is back, but we don't know if 12-0 is back. So isn't really something we exactly know about the game. But I'm just praying that 12-0 doesn't come back, but I'm almost certain it is. As much as I hate it, I would love to think that these new ways of playing would be great. I think they might actually split up MyTEAM Unlimited into multiple game modes, because I do think the 12-0 thing will still be there. I think it will still be there in a way, but you just never know. And then we will be playing for championship rings. So we know the tokens are a thing. So my initial thing when I heard about championship rings was, I was like, is that just going to be like new tokens? But then when I thought a little bit harder about it, when I was looking at the thing, I was kind of looking at the picture and stuff, like, tokens are still there. I'm thinking, what could championship rings be? A lot of people are saying championship rings in NBA Live are like coins, which I don't think they're going to be a new form of currency. I have a feeling that, like, championship rings might be a way of getting you into, like, a final tournament. So for, like, the 250k qualifiers, if you go 10-2 or something, you get 10, like, the tickets from the last ones. But you can pay your tickets to, say, get some cards, or you can use the tickets to get into a qualifier. Or, for example, X person needs you need 50 championship rings to get into this qualifier or something like that. But I think championship rings will be some sort of a secondary reward alongside MT and tokens, or a tertiary reward. We've already gotten those two rewards, and I think championship rings will be another reward. What would be an ideal situation would be if you go 12-0, you can get for Unlimited, you can get a championship ring. And you use a championship ring to get one of the 12-0 players. And then say there's 5 of them for the first while, or there's like 3 a month, where you can go 12-0 3 times, or something along those lines. That would be something that would be kind of cool, but at the end of the day, that does make the game 10 times more toxic. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. As long as, even if it was 11-1 to get a reward, Unlimited would be so much better. Like, I don't have a problem with going on a run to get a card, but as long as 12 games in a row is ridiculous. But yeah, that is basically it. So what we know, obviously a transfer is over. Position locks are back, the tiers are the same, free agent cards are back. And then when we're looking at actual changes to the game, Evo cards have more control, which I think is going to be a really, really positive. Unlimited, back with new ways of playing. I don't see the 12-0 Unlimited mode being the only game mode. I really hope that they adapt it to not make it 12-0. And even if they do, if that's a game mode that's on, not even on the side, that's a separate game mode to the one that everyone has to play. I've been pushing for this for years, talking to the devs in 2K, saying they need just a quick game or even a friendlies match, just a quick match mode in MyTEAM. Yeah, you're going to see the occasional, like, good player just go into pub stomp, but if there's no rewards, the majority of comp level players will play the competitive modes. And then championship rings, we know they're important, we don't know what they are. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ball point, you know it's not.